Hello and welcome to another tutorial for the Multi-Store Addons for WooCommerce. In this video, I will be showing you how you can translate any text on your website by using agilestorelocator and its plugin, Multi-Store Addons for WooCommerce. So let's begin. So firstly, if your website is using a single language, then you do not need to download any text translation plugin. You can simply go to your WordPress dashboard. Once you're here, go to the agilestorelocator plugin. And if you want to translate a text on your WooCommerce website, click on WooCommerce and go to the labels option here and then select the text you want to translate. For example, let's change select location to select place. Once that is done, simply click on save settings and the text will be translated. Similarly, if you want to translate a text on the store locator widget, you will need to go to the ASL settings options here. And once you're here, go to the labels tab once again. Make sure labels is turned on. Then search for the text which you want to translate, such as select store, for example, and change it to select shop, for example. Then click on save settings and the translation will be applied. So this is the case if you have a single language on your website. If your website is using multiple languages, such as in this case our website is using German and English, in this case you will need to then follow a different set of steps to translate the text on your website. So let's see how we can translate the select store button over here to a different translation. So firstly, you will need to right click on your website and then click on view page source, and from here you will note the language code which your website is using. In our case it's ENGB, and this is very important to note because if you use the wrong language code, then the translation will not take place. So with that in mind, let's go back to the WordPress dashboard. And then you will need to install the logo translate plugin. Once it's installed, go to plugins here. Now let's search for the Multi-Store Addons for WooCommerce. Here it is. And once you're here, you can set up a new language that you want to translate for. And once you choose a language, be sure to choose the language with the correct code. In our case, it was ENGB, so we will need to choose English UK. If we choose English United States, then the language code will be different and the translation will not take place. So be sure to choose the correct language code. We have already set up the languages, so let's go back here. Here you can see it's ENGB. So let's edit. Click on edit and search for the text which we want to translate, which was select store. Here it is. Select the select store option. Now let's add a translation such as select shop, for example. Once that is done, click on save. Now let's head back to our store and see if the changes have been applied. Click on refresh. And you can see the select store button has been changed to select shop. So now let's see if we can translate something in German using the German language. So let's click on the German language button here. And here's our store in German. As you can see here, the select store button is still in English. So let's see how we can translate this button into German. Once again, we will go back to WordPress, to our WordPress dashboard. Go back to the logo translate plugin. But firstly, we will need to make a note of the language code. So right click here, click on view page source. And as you can see here, the language code is DETE. If we head back to WordPress, You can see that the German language code here is DEDE, which is the correct code. So always make sure that the language code is correct. Otherwise, the translation will not take place. So let's click on Edit. And now we'll search for the text we want to translate, which was select store. Choose select store. Now let's enter the German translation and click on save. Now let's go back to our WordPress website and refresh the page and see if the translation takes place. And as you can see here, that the select store button has been translated into German. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.